Welcome back to another episode of Walk to Push, where we will go through leaving Brisbane Spinal Unit and arriving in Mackay.
Leaving spinal unit. What a day. What a very emotional day.
What was it, about 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning. They organised the travel, obviously the taxi, the flights, taxi from Mackay Airport to the base hospital. But I really wish they left a little bit more time in between, allowed a little bit more time with the taxi transfer, because I found that we were really pushed. But it all worked out in the end. So that was the main thing. So that morning, as you can imagine, family, I suppose you could say.
Yeah. There for what, 4 months?
Yeah. So we obviously a close friendship with everyone. So Makisha wasn't there. She was back in Mackay with Christian, and I nominated. I'll go down. I'll sort it out. I'll bring him home. I didn't expect it to be so emotional and hard. Like so many tears rolled off my face that day, especially turning around at the end of the entrance doors and saying goodbye, and just that final look of spinal rehab. That really shook me. And Ethan was quite upset too, like that was his comfort zone. It's where he felt safe.
He was about to face a whole new sort of life, really.
Whole new world, yeah. Yeah, it was an emotional day. Emotional morning, should I say, well that at that time. So anyway, finally got to the airport, and that's a whole new ball game. Like obviously people do this day to day on a regular basis in wheelchairs, but because we're not so much blindsided to people in wheelchairs, but having a son in a wheelchair is certainly a different level.
We didn't realise you need medical clearances and all
Yeah,
that sort of jazz just to get on a plane.
and it's not just going as simple as going through the check-in. So you got to go to a different department. You got to get the medical clearances, like Makisha said. So it was different. We managed all that. And there was a little bit of confusion with medical clearances, but we sorted that out. And he was taken in to the security area, so that's different again. So they basically still search you. That's their job, but they've got to search the wheelchair too, and so it was interesting. It was different. It wasn't interesting. It was just different. Not that we were sort of experienced with. Still getting over the emotion from leaving rehab and now going through all this, and I was quite flustered and I was stressed, and the security and um, what are they? Flight
Attendants, yeah.
Yeah, they recognised that, and they were trying to comfort me mainly because they could see how stressed I was. Anyway, checked in, got through. We're in the main part of Brisbane Airport now, so waiting for our flight.
Getting the Krispy Kremes.
Krispy Kremes, yes.
That's a vigil for the airport. Whenever one of us is at Brisbane Airport, you must not return home without the Krispy Kremes.
Yeah, even if it means missing your flight.
You do not miss out on Krispy Kreme.
So I've always said to Makisha, if she comes home without Krispy Kreme, she's basically divorced. So, so anyway, we got called for the flight, boarding time. That was a whole new experience because take you to the entrance of the plane on their chair, then then he has to transfer onto a airplane chair, which is
Like an aisle chair.
like an aisle chair. But they didn't realise that the 737 that we were on was a newer model, and being a newer model, the aisles were narrower. So he had to transfer from that aisle chair onto a different aisle chair. And you can just imagine his frustration. And he finally got into his seat after getting, because he's 6'2", and he's big lad. So sitting down, you're a bit wider than normal. You can't really shuffle down the aisle sideways or whatever. So he was getting caught on chairs, and you could see the frustration in him. He was really getting frustrated. So anyway, he gets into his seat, and you can just see he just wants to be left alone. He's had enough. So flying along, coming in Mackay, and this is what really hit home for me. He turns around and goes, "Dad, when I get home, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not going out anywhere. I'm not doing nothing. I don't want to be. I don't want to deal with this. I'm never flying again." And I said, "Bud, it's the first time. It's been a big day. Emotions. We're gonna overcome this. We're gonna, get you out."
Thankfully, he's changed his mind on that now, though.
You can't keep him in home long enough. He wants to go out all the time, which is really good.
He's got all these plans when he gets his like payout to go, like vacation in
Yeah.
different countries.
But anyway, that's another story. Disembarked the plane. We're waiting. Got our bags, and we're waiting for ages because obviously spinal rehab organised taxis this end. And we're like, "Where's our taxi? It should have been here." Blah blah blah. So I don't know. It would have been about 45-minute wait. And I actually called spinal rehab. Yeah, well, not spinal rehab, but the transport department of that hospital. And they were like, "Oh, sorry, we'll get you the taxi straight away." So sure enough, got the taxi. But unfortunately, it wasn't a trip home. It was a trip back to his first admitting hospital, Mackay Base, which is,
They don't really have anything spinal at that hospital, hence why when his injury first happened, he was transferred straight to Townsville.
so honestly, I don't really understand to this day why he was transferred back to Mackay Base. I think it was more of an obs for medication, maybe. It was basically a waste of time.
They even said that they looked at him as if at someone just taking up
A
the
bed.
bed space.
Yeah.
He didn't need to be there. They saw no reason for him needing to be there.
You can sort of understand the frustration that he was going through because he wasn't coming home because obviously our home isn't. He's home now, but at that stage it wasn't set up. It wasn't.
He didn't have a bed or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah. So, a quite funny moment. During his stay at Mackay Base, he organised a hotel room for him and his was partner to spend the night in the room and have a night. Anyway,
Out the hospital, have some time to themselves, sort of thing.
so from our understanding, he got permission from the doctors, the nurses. Yep, no worries. You can go out for the night. Just be back in the morning. Blah blah blah. But anyway, I think it was about 9:30, wasn't it?
No, it was about 7:30.
Oh yeah, 7:30, and they called me and they were like, "Yeah, Ryan, do you know where Ethan is?" And I said, "Yeah, he's booked a hotel and he's staying out overnight with his partner." And they were like, "What? No, he needs to be back by 9, I think it was. They gave us a deadline by 9, otherwise he was going to be discharged." I'm like, "Oh no, what?" Anyway, so I rang him up. I said, "Bud, what's going on?" He told me the doctors, nurses, whatever, said that you've got permission to spend the night out. What's the go? And he goes, "Yeah, Dad, they told me I could spend the night out." I was like, "Okay."
There was no communication, obviously, between the day staff and the night staff.
Yeah, so something went down there. We're not accusing anyone, but we're just explaining the situation. So anyway, Dale ended up picking Ethan up and took him back to the hospital. But out of all this, Dale got a free night in a hotel.
Yeah, because Ethan had already paid for the night, so instead of wasting it, Dale's like, well, me and China will stay there.
So yeah, so you can just imagine on how angry he was. Apart from that, not much else really happened in Mackay Base. It was
he had time limits to be out. He wasn't allowed to be out very often. He had to be back by certain times of the day.
Yeah, yes.
He didn't even really do rehab or anything like that. He was just taking up space
Yep.
for about 6 weeks.
The day come around where he was discharged from Mackay Base, and he was put into a place called
The Shores.
the Shores, which is just down the road from us. Luckily,
It was home, but it was better than the hospital.
yeah, it was like probably like 10-minute drive, 5-minute drive.
Yeah, and it's on the beach too.
So we had a two bedroom, fully contained unit. Really nice, but
What? Outdated.
yeah. But anyway, we're not going to go into the
No.
yeah. We're not here to nitpick. It was somewhere for him to sleep, somewhere to have a shower. So that was great. And the owners there, or well, managers, should I say, absolutely lovely people.
Yeah, they went
Yeah.
out of their way to help out with anything that he needed.
Yeah. So if anyone needs accommodation in Mackay, check out the Shores. You know, it may not be for you. It may be for you.
Yeah, wheelchair accessibility. It was good.
So he spent how long there?
So he probably spent about a month or so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, while we were waiting for his care port and that to be set up at home.
Yeah. So yeah, like McKee said, Careport arrives. His bed.
Yeah, we had to wait for the reason he had to go to the Shores and not home was because we were still waiting on the care port situation, which is the shower and toilet in one, which had to be plumbed into the garage, and we were also waiting on his electric bed from Harvey Norman. So until they came, we couldn't bring him home because he had nowhere to shower, toilet, or sleep. So when we were not at work, we were at his unit.
Yeah.
And it was good though because anyone could visit him there. Like his mates went there. His at the time girlfriend Christian and Dale could go there and hang out. They could stay there if they wanted.
Yeah.
Like they could just do his own thing.
So it was a really nice place.
They even played a little bit of basketball on the basketball court, wasn't it? And a bit of tennis.
Pity the weather was too cold. There's a couple of pools there too.
Yeah.
But no, check out the Shores. Not being sponsored or anything. Not.
Yeah. If you need something accessible, quick, easy, and relatively cheap.
Yep. So anyway, the day came to say goodbye to them. There's a lot of goodbyes in this story, but not forgotten.
Coming home, that was different because there was so many emotions.
Yeah, he didn't want to be home. It took him a long time to adjust of being home because he felt being a stranger.
Well, he hadn't been home for 8 months,
Yeah.
so he felt like it wasn't his house. So it took him a little while, and he felt like he was putting everybody out by being here.
Yeah, I mean things are a lot better now. He's King Dick rolling around in his chair, thinking, "Oh shit!" No,
He speeds around the house now.
It's quite funny. If anyone knows us personally, yeah,
We make a lot of jokes.
yeah, we make a lot of jokes and we muck around a lot. Sometimes Makisha gets really annoyed with us, but me and Ethan, Christian, and Dale, we have a laugh. So
He's hanging around the door right now, listening to us.
yeah, you are. Say good day, Ethan.
Apart from all this stuff, this is when all the home modifications talks started. So we had meetings with an OT, a builder, an engineer. They've all come out. Ethan got to pick like tiles. He got to pick his own tiles that he wanted, his own paint colours, his own bench top for his little kitchenette. He got to pick all the fixtures and fittings for his bathroom, tapware for his little kitchenette, everything. All picked for he gets to do it all.
And mind you, all this is going in our carport. So ultimately, we're losing our carport, and it's going to be converted into a room, bathroom, and little kitchenette.
So basically, an attached granny flat. He gets his own whole space: bedroom,
Yeah,
kitchenette,
an electronic front door. So because our driveway's on a bit of an angle, so um, accessibility. So electronic door, like remote control. At this moment, it's been a bit of a process with probably how long's he been home for now?
Since April.
Yeah, since April. We've only just gone through the approval. Obviously the landlords are really Jeanette and Stephen,
They've been awesome.
the most loveliest people in the world. I can't express how nice they are. They're genuine, really, really genuine people and lovely.
They've agreed to anything getting done to the house. As long as it helps out us and Ethan,
Yeah.
they're on board.
So you can. There's not. I'd say there wouldn't be many people out there that would be like that. I mean, when the even to the point when the accident happened, I don't know how long it was after that first initial accident, but obviously Jeanette and Stephen, we told Jeanette and Stephen what was happening, and they told us, basically said, don't worry about paying, don't worry about paying rent or. And I was like, no, this is, we're still going to work around this, so I'm still going to be paying your rent.
Definitely. Then we got a message, I think, a few months later saying, don't worry about your water bill because we've paid that for you.
Yeah, so they they're gone out and beyond our expectations. They're really lovely people. I can't express that enough. So you can just imagine all this modifications getting done to their house. Yes, they're going to probably benefit out of it being valued, but um, I don't know.
They didn't have to agree to it. They could have
No.
said no.
So we've only just gone through the approval's been done, and we've just had our first lot of quotes through a building contractor in Airlie Beach. So we're apparently waiting on another quote from somewhere else. I'm not
Yeah.
sure yet, but we're kind of hoping by Christmas time the modifications will start. Now, these modifications aren't going to be easy because they've got to dig up the slabs of the carport, put plumbing in, and there's a lot to it.
They did say, though, once they started, it'll take maybe 2-3 months to be done. So,
Yeah. So at this point, he's living in a lounge room,
yeah.
which uh, that I don't care. But the only thing I really freaking miss is my kitchen table. I'm the type of person, not back in the day, but now. So now I really enjoy. Stop rolling your eyes. I really enjoy sitting down at the kitchen table and having a family meal.
Well, you just have to sacrifice that for a little bit.
Oh, well, Christian goes to his room, Ethan goes to his room, you sit on the lounge, and I sit up the kitchen bench.
But
So,
it'll be good, though, once everything's all done and set back up and we have the table back, we'll be back to having family dinners.
yeah, it's just something. I know it's nothing big and, it's a small sacrifice, but that's just something I miss. One thing I don't miss is having him home. Oh, he's a pain in my ass.
Or whatever.
True story, pain in my ass. But,
No, these are all pain in my asses, really.
no, you're a pain in my ass too. But oh, here we go, mucking around. A bit of light and laughter on the subject. Um, but that's pretty much it to
Yeah.
this day.
I think it's just been a bit more of a roller coaster with everyone being at home. Like we've all gone through some pretty bad days. We've all gone through some
um,
pretty good days. I myself tried to talk to a therapist, but it just wasn't for me.
he was basically, as Makisha was saying, he was basically just reading out of a book. There was no, I know therapists are trained that way, but he wasn't much help.
No, he wasn't much help at all. Like I had just got to the point where I was really, really low. I'd lost like a lot of weight. I was just so stressed out. My hair was thinning. Just mentally was not happy at all. Like every single day I was crying. Now I'm gonna cry again.
Chin up, Bob. With me, I'm not a talker. My therapy I don't know if I've actually talked about this in any of our previous episodes, but I got a really good mate. He's basically my brother from another mother. G'day, Pete. Um,
Just get out around the fire with a
yeah,
few drinks.
there was one day I hit rock bottom and myself, and I was fucked up. Sorry, my language. Sorry.
Oh no, you're allowed to swear on podcasts.
I don't know.
Oh well, you just did.
Yeah, I'll be like beep. There you go. Um, yeah, I was struggling, and I basically rang Pete and I said, "Bro, I need to talk to you."
He was straight down
Yeah,
here.
so he goes, "I'll be down there." I think this was a Monday. I think he was down here on a Wednesday or something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, being in Hamilton Island, that's where he works. So he was straight down. And you know what? The best therapy for me is we sit around a little camp. Well, not a campfire. It's not a campfire.
Little backyard fire.
Little backyard fire, and we have a couple of drinks, and we have a good chat. Now, we did this the first night. It was pretty good. It was myself, Pete, Mikesha, who was it? Ethan, Christian, Brooke, and
Dale.
Dale
That
and
China was.
China.
I don't think China was there, was she?
I'm not sure, but it was a really good night. And the second night was even better because it was just us. It was me, Pete,
And the boys.
and the boys, and Mikeish. And it was great to have a laugh. We haven't laughed so much in our life.
It was
And
just normal. Like
yeah,
it was like nothing had ever happened.
yeah, it was fantastic. And that, I think, is what we missed, having a bit of normality in our lives. And I remember the boys turning around to me and going, "Dad, when you and Uncle Pete talk, how do you remember on you're drinking beer?" And I said, "No, mate, there's a difference." And I explained this to him. I think it was Christian. I think Ethan was also listening. I said, "If you've ever noticed, me and Uncle Pete, and the boys call him Uncle Pete, me and Uncle Pete always just get the fire going, get the tunes going, and just have a couple of beers. That's when we start talking. Once we've had our chat, we have a few more beers, and we generally don't talk after that about important stuff. But then we just start mucking around because
You just start talking crap.
yeah, we talk crap. Um, but we always have the most important chats after a couple of beers, just to get the tongue wet, the mind and heart open. I know it shouldn't be that way, and it's not that way, but it's just the way I am. And I explained this to him, and I said to him, I said to them also, so every morning when we wake up, first thing me and Uncle Pete will say is good chat, and we either give each other a hug or shake hands. And they were like, huh.
See, the boys call him Uncle Pete because he's been like Ryan's best mate since high school.
Shit, I reckon it was like, yeah, I'm going to get shot if I get this wrong, and he's going to hear this. I think it was year 9.
They've been really
Yeah.
close to that, and he's also their godfather. So
Yeah. So anyway, that was a really good therapy for myself and Keish, seeing the boys, having a laugh, and it was just a great couple of nights. It was fantastic. It was, yeah,
it is good. It's good to see them all happy, and then I start to be happy. But then I think to myself, I catch myself, and I'll be like, wait, it's like I don't let myself be happy. Like if I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like I'll start to be happy, and then my brain goes, "Wait, why are you being happy?"
yeah, yeah.
It's odd. It really is odd.
Mental issues is a real thing.
Yeah, mental health.
Yeah,
Definitely. Just if you need to talk to someone, make sure you do. We have learnt that over the last 11 months that
yeah,
if you need to talk, talk. And as they say, it's okay to not be okay.
yeah. So we're strong advocates for mental health. Obviously experiencing it firsthand now. Um, I probably should have had help back in the day, more so. Well, not yeah. It's hard to explain. I was a volunteer firefighter.
Gravedigger.
Yeah, a gravedigger, and I'd seen a lot of horrible stuff and sad moments, and that's taken an effect on my life, the way I am, who I am, and I probably should have talked a lot more back then, but a male being a male, stereotype. Shut up, nod in your head. I should have probably got some help back then, but like I said, I'm not one for getting help. That's my help is talking to my mate or talking to someone. Like today, I was in the chemist. Some lady was in there, and she was Ethan needs microlax, which is an enema, and she was looking at the same part of the aisle, and I just said, "Oh, looks like you're having fun," because she was picking up every item, looking at it, and reading about it. And I don't know, she was probably our age, and I was sitting there waiting for the medication to be ready and get called out. I just started chatting, and next minute, I'm chatting about Ethan, for frick's sakes. Like, how does that even happen? So I would rather, like, what I'm getting the point to, I'd rather speak to someone that's just a normal, everyday person instead of going to a health profession or a professional. I know that's probably
Well, not wrong if that's what you're thinking. It's
uh,
just start the conversation. Isn't
yeah,
that what they say on their
conversation
yeah,
starter.
trademark, whatever it is? I think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, just start the conversation. Your conversation could be what makes someone's day, or changes their mind on something doing something silly.
yeah, well, yeah. Like you say, it could be a matter of life or death.
It could be.
So anyway, I think we've gone off track here a little bit.
I think it kind of wraps it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. To this point, I think that's basically it. We might do one more maybe on say medical updates on Ethan. We haven't really touched much on that. But for now, I'll
Yeah.
close the podcast off and just remember, ask someone if they're okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you okay?
Yep. Anyway, until next time, we'll catch you later.
Bye.